We're back on Smells Like 90's Rock. It's Sheila and Hot Toddy, and we were just looking at Prince, talking about Prince online. And you know, last week into this week, all of our shows on this station did Prince tributes for days. You know, we Mothership did a huge thing that night after he died, and we did 80s Rock Off had a complete thing for him. We did a little bit. But obviously he didn't
have as much.
He didn't have as many big songs in the 90s as he did in the 80s, so we did a few, and then the tributes went on into next week. But I have a bone to pick with a website that we're a part of. It's the first complaint I've ever had, and I'm hoping it's the only complaint. It's Mixcloud. I was a little upset with Mixcloud this week because on Monday I was uploading the show.
You have to remember they pulled us down for.
No, that was SoundCloud. Mixcloud is the one that's better.
Okay.
It's the one you don't have to pay for and have unlimited unlimited uploads and do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
This is a great site, and a lot of people are moving to Mixcloud, and that's why I made an account for us. And for the last year, I have uploaded our show every week on Monday onto their account, onto their website. Well, I did the same thing Monday, and after it uploaded, I got a little warning sign that says your show or your playlist may not be heard in certain countries, and they had a little bullet point besides each country that it was not going to show up in. There was only one, and it was USA. I was like, okay, well, oh, okay, so that sucks.
Argentina, China, you got us.
You got us. You can love us, but we're not going to be heard anywhere around here. And then there was a little drop box that said, "Would you like to know why your show will not be heard?"
Yeah.
Well, sure. And there was some and there was some bull. I can't believe this, but this is weird. There was a rule that says you cannot have any more than 4 songs of the same artist in your playlist on Mixcloud.
That's
I didn't know that was a thing.
That is actually based on radio.
Really?
Yeah. You can't play more within a 2-hour time frame.
No kidding.
It's actually 3 songs.
Seriously?
Yeah, on air by one artist.
Well, we broke that rule last week. We played 6 Prince songs, but
I mean, that's a special case, and I just don't think that. I mean, Mixcloud's not like the SEC is obviously going to recognize it's a special case.
Yeah.
Mixcloud's not going.
Mixcloud ain't going to do it. No.
Yeah.
Right. So, but it made me
but
think.
Like during regular things, like we shouldn't play like an entire scene.
Well,
with
obviously
one artist
we wouldn't
or
do that. Yeah. But yeah, and that was like a
yeah, like during special reasons. Yes.
Yeah, that was a wake up call too. It's like, well, we can never do like a special where we do like one artist or anything like that, or if we do, we can't put it up on Mixcloud because they don't take it. Yeah, you can't play any more than 4 songs of one artist, and then something about you can't play any more than 3 from one certain album. It was I'd never heard of that before. I didn't know that even existed. And yeah, so
maybe that's something. I know it's the 3. Maybe it's 3 from one album, 4 from the artist.
I think 4 from the artist is what it is. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I had to I went back into our show, took out 2 of the Prince songs the 2 that I least liked, and took them out. And then I also had to take out parts where DJ Poor and I were talking about them coming up and all this. So I had to
goodness!
So I had to do all this. I had to do all this frickin' adjusting, and finally I was able to keep up with Mixcloud's code, and now the episode is up on our Mixcloud page. But that was a bitch to get through. I didn't know that rule existed, but yeah, I
knew it for on air. I didn't know for Mixcloud.
Right. Well, I mean, that's weird. That was crazy. But yeah, so my only complaint so far with Mixcloud is that we cannot put more than 4 songs of one artist.
But that's not really their rule.
It's
not
not.
FCC's rule.
But what was weird was because I called bull when I first saw it because I thought back in January when Bowie died and Lemmy Kilmister died from Motorhead, I did a bit of a tribute. It was a night I was by myself. I did a few of their songs, but I went back and looked. I actually played 4 songs from David Bowie and 4 from Motorhead, so it didn't get me into any trouble. So so I actually got cleared from that. But yeah, so this go around I didn't, and I was like, wow. You just I don't know, Mixcloud was on its period or something. I don't know, but it was.
Well, they do that so that basically to avoid like payola.
No, right.
You know, so that you can't play somebody's song.
That makes sense, and it makes sense
over and over and over and over.
And it's like you said, it makes sense for radio, but I didn't think for an online uploading, show thing that it would matter on Mixcloud. But apparently, I guess SoundCloud probably is even a bigger stickler than that on that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, whatever. So. Just a rule of thumb for anybody who's involved with SoundCloud and or Mixcloud, make sure you don't have any more than 4 songs from one artist in your playlist. Otherwise,
or they're coming for you.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah, they're like,
But yeah. Yeah, like I said, you missed that. That was a good show. We did a little tribute to Prince, and have you been here since I got put on anxiety medication?
No.
Yeah, about a month ago, I was put on anxiety medication because, well, I have too much anxiety from things like my house flooding, losing money, not having a good job or getting paid very well, and things like that. So they were like,
typicals.
It's like, you know what, you could use some medication. So I have that now. So that's going on.
That's good.
Yeah, and then the night Prince died, I went to go see Kevin Smith live at the Bijou Theater.
I saw that.
That was a good show. That was a really good show.
I saw your post on that one.
Yeah, that was a fascinating show. He was supposed to go on for only like 2 to 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. He went on for 4 hours that night. He went from 7:30 to 11:30, just talking about different things. It never got boring because, I mean, this guy's a director in Hollywood, so every story is interesting to hear. But yeah, he went on for 4 hours. But it was
that's a little long.
It's a little. Well, exactly. It's like I described it as somebody that you ran into somebody that you really want to see and would love to talk to, but not at a time when you really have to pee and is really hungry. Mm-hmm. So and that's what I was by the end of his show. I was like, I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, because you're like planning, like, man, then a lot of places are closed by the time you
exactly. Get out. Yeah, and we were like, well, we can eat after the show because we thought going in it might be an hour or an hour and a half.
Yeah,
but then we got in and all the seat attendants were saying, okay, this show is going to be 2 to 2.5 hours with no intermission. So if you need to get a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever. So okay, well, we're going to get our money's worth then for sure.
Yeah.
But then it went 4 hours, 7:30 to 11:30, and we got out. It was pouring the rain. So I was like,
McDonald's drive-thru.
No, actually, we got Applebee's. They're still open.
Oh.
We're still open late at night. So
it's almost dropping lower than McDonald's.
It actually is, but you know what? When you're starving and it's late at night, you'll take anything. So we went there. But yeah, that was a good show. You like any of his movies, the Kevin Smith?
I liked Clerks.
Clerks, that's one of my. Dogma's my favorite, but Clerks is my second favorite.
Yeah. So I mean, but I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah.
But I heard he's supposed to be pretty funny in person.
He's hilarious. I mean, he's really good, just like, can come up with stuff on a quip,
yeah,
and really good improv.
4 hours is a little ridiculous. That to me says that he didn't have that planned, and that bothers me.
No, he didn't, yeah. See, he came in to the show saying that the show he did before, because it's also like a question-answer show,
mm-hmm.
and he said that in the show before that, he got through like 1.5 questions from the audience, because his stories went on for so long that eventually the night ended, and they couldn't continue. And that's sort of how it looked like it was going to be when we hit the 2.5 hour mark. He'd only he'd only answered like 2 questions, but then he kept going and just let everybody. So he got through at least 5 or 6 questions in 4 hours worth of stories. I mean, it was just
5 or 6 questions.
Yeah, well, I mean that's actually a record for him because he talks about because he gives such long drawn out answers and big stories.
Okay, he needs to be concise.
He actually is concise. His stories stay on point and are actually pretty fast, but he just adds in a lot of information.
No, that's what I mean. You gotta learn not all the information is pertinent and
right.
And need to know.
True, but
I'm saying
true.
But at least you got your money's worth.
It is, yeah, and like I said, none of it was boring. It was all really interesting.
That's just really long to me, though.
It was just a really long show, and like I said, by the end of it, my bladder was screaming because I would be
hungry. And
we were starving after that, but all around good show. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.